TBF, I had rockets on the wings of my plane, 4 on each. That gave me 8. And the shell that we fired was a 5-inch shell, which is the same size in that day that the destroyers were shooting off of their ship. And I could fire them, a pair all at the same time. So I had rockets, but I also, in my bomb bay, I could carry 12 100-pound DP, or 4 250s, or a 2,000-pound DP. And when we were invading the Philippines, have you ever been to the Philippines?
No, sir.
Well, I don't know if, I don't imagine it's still there, but the best hotel in Manila was right on the water's edge. And part of it protruded out into Manila Bay. And I had a pleasant assignment. They gave me a 2,000-pound general purpose instantaneous fuse. And my job was to blow up the Manila Hotel. I had fighter cover, but I was by myself. But when I flew over Manila and went into the bay, I saw this humongous, beautiful cargo vessel. And I circled around, which I wasn't supposed to do, and I could tell by the wake of the ship it was going around 6 or 8 knots, which is nothing. So rather than go to the Manila Hotel, I dropped a 2,000-pound blockbuster on that ship. And I have pictures of it, and it went right, hit the middle of the ship. And when the photographer plane with me went around to take some pictures, and there wasn't much to see. So we got back to the ship and landed. The photographer pilot came over, and I was still in the plane. I got out, come down off of the wing, and he said, "You are in a heap of trouble." But he said, "That's the damnedest thing I've ever seen in my life." So I went straight to my commanding officer and said, "I didn't go to the Manila Hotel, but I got some good pictures." And the photographer said to give him 30 minutes and he'd bring them to you. So rather than getting scolded for skipping the Manila Hotel, later on in the following year, I ended up getting one of my distinguished flying colors for that. And they left the Manila Hotel. They decided after that, nobody knew why, but the top brass decided to skip bombing it. And later on, when the American forces landed and got into Luzon, which was the northern island, that was the admiral's, forgot what his name, office. He wrote an article one time about what a pleasure it was to look out his office window and see up to the north corregidor and where he is. And what's the other island? One island.
Bataan?
What?
Was it Bataan?
Yeah, Bataan and corregidor. And he said what a pleasure it was to see the island. And it came out of a hotel that I didn't know of, which made for an interesting story.
I can't imagine why they would be mad at you for sinking a ship versus a hotel that's not going anywhere.
Well, my skipper said, he said, "I can't believe what you're telling me." That's not the only time he ever said that to me, incidentally. But I said, "Well, skipper, that hotel wasn't going anywhere." And I said, "That beautiful, largest cargo vessel I ever saw wouldn't be there if I had to fly back to the ship and get a series of bombs, because a 2,000-pound DP was too much for that one ship." So I said I took my chances. And I was sitting at a chair by his desk, and I said, "You want me to go topside with you?" explain this? And he said, no. And he got to the door of his office, and he turned around and he looked at me and he said, what would have been your story if you missed that ship?
Ever figure out the name of that ship you sunk, that cargo ship?
The cargo vessel?
Yeah, that you sunk. You never figured out the name of it?
They figured out the name of the carrier. Zuikaku. But I didn't even pay any attention. It was so big. Oh, it was just gorgeous. And the water was as smooth as out here today. And I could tell, as I said earlier, from the wake, it was probably 5 or 6 knots. And that's standing still for me. And so I had the bomb that was supposed to blow up the hotel, blew up that ship.
Hey, Papa, tell them about landing on the island and getting the piece off the plane. that's
Oh, yeah.
around.
Saipan, Tinian, and Guam, and Mariana. We were involved in all the invasion there. I did a lot of close air support. And I don't know whether you're familiar with that or not, but we would take 4 planes and we would go on station, and whoever was the coordinator of the troops on a particular island, we would radio and tell him what kind of armament we had in the plane, and then he'd say, we had a little book with us about that big with laminated pictures, and he'd say, we have heavy resistance in K4 or King 4. And so you could flip the book up and see where it was. And he would say something like, do not go north to south. We have friendlies there. Be sure you make you run east to west. Now that sometimes will be a little bit hairy, being sure you don't drop on some of your own.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way that was. And I enjoyed doing that close air support. I took part in 7 invasions. But what dawned on me is that a couple of days before we made the invasion, we went down and messed up a lot of things on the runway. And on the side of the runway, there's some Jap planes that were poised to take off, and they didn't get off. So there was an Army major on the ship, and I never know how he got there, but he was attached to the invasion forces going into Saipan. And so they sent word to our ship that he had to get back to the forces on Saipan. Now that was the first day of the invasion, and so they radioed back and said the carrier had withdrawn for refueling, and it was too far away for a gunboat, but we would get him back the next day when we went back in to attack again. And the word came back was ASAP, not tomorrow. So they decided, I'd been busy all day flying, and I was enjoying in my room, and my phone rang, and the yeoman said, Skipper wants to see you ASAP. And I went up to his office, and the executive officer was in there. And I'll tell you how mean he was. We called him Simon LeGree, and he was. But for some reason, he took a shot with me. And he said, this is Major somebody, I didn't know. And he said, you are going to put him on Saipan. And I said, what do you mean? I said, we got enemy forces there. He said, a lot of them. So he introduced, the guy had never been in a plane. And when you launch in the turret of a TBF, you're flying off backwards. So I told that fellow, I don't know if I was an incident and made that JT, but I said, he was amazed. I said, sir, you rank me, but that's my airplane. And when you're in that airplane, you do what I say. And he said, I understand. So I went over there, and with Commander Campbell, the one that I like so much, Medal of Honor winner, and his wingman flew cover for me. And I went over there and radioed, they said the tower, it was actually a tent down there. And they said, you clear the land long and land downwind. You know, these little short islands, land long and land downwind. So I went around and I landed, and the guy got out, my radio man helped him, and he took off, and with some Marines leading him off. I never saw him before. I often wondered what happened to him. But while they put a squad of Marines around my plane to get me ready to take off, and I asked one of them, he crawled up on my wing, he said, you got any whiskey with you? And I said, you know, I can't have any whiskey in this thing. But I said, if I go to another war, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell whiskey. Because I could have made $1 million. But anyway, I said, by the way, why did y'all tell me to land long and land downwind? And he said, that end down there ain't ours. And I knew when I circled around to make my short landing, my radio man called up. I said, and my radio man called me up and said, somebody down there shooting at us. Well, they didn't tell me that. They just said long land downwind. But on the side of the runway, there was some planes that we had scraped the day before, not working. And I told that guy who was standing on the wing of my plane, I said, you see those damaged planes over there? And he said, yeah. And I said, I want some cover. I'm going over there. He said, what do you do? I climbed down off my plane and I ran across over there and I tore off a piece of metal about that big square off of one of the damaged planes.
Japanese plane?
What?
It was a Japanese plane?
Yeah, it was a Japanese plane. Right on. So I took it with me and went up and landed. After I got everything squared away, I went down to the metal worker's shop. The old chief down there, I had that piece of metal with me. I said, Chief, I want to make you a deal. And he said, what the hell have you got there? And I said, you won't believe me if I tell you. And he said, well, tell me. And I said, that's a piece off of a damaged plane on the runway at South Bend. He said, you're the guy that took that major back over there today? And I said, yes, I am. And I said, I'll make you a deal. It was about that big square. I said, if you make my girl a bracelet out of a piece of it, I'll give you the rest. He said, you mean it? I said, yeah. He said, it'll be ready for you in the morning. Next morning I went and had a nice little bracelet from my wife, from my girlfriend, wasn't my wife, yeah. And I know he made some money on that piece of aluminum. But anyway, so I got my girlfriend a bracelet. She wore it one time. And it was long after the war was over, after we were married, and back in Sheffield in business. And one day she called me Luigi. She said, Luigi, I'm kind of disappointed. You didn't look at my jewelry I was wearing today. And she held her wrist up, and it was that bracelet she wore one time.
You still have it?
What?
Do you still have it?
No, we moved twice after that, and somewhere in the go-around, the bracelet was lost.
That's unfortunate.
But anyway, I made my point with my woman. It wasn't that pretty, but anyway, when the history part of it,